Welcome to Western Housing, home of Western students for over 40 years. Our on-campus residence halls offer 7 different styles of housing, home to individuals who are adventurers, leaders, creatives, friends, and students. Here at Western, we strive to create a community of students who embrace this new and exciting opportunity. Being in college means that you will be able to meet new people and make new friends. The friendships you create will last a lifetime. Living on campus allows students to have social, educational, and recreational opportunities within walking distance. With 2 fitness centers located in Rocky Mountain Hall and Aspen Mountain Hall, and an on-campus aquatic center located near the Rushmore Gym. Make sure you make yourself at home in the 3 lounge areas in Rocky Mountain Hall, Wind River Hall, and Aspen Mountain Hall. Hang out with friends, finish your homework, or talk to loved ones on the phone. Western's resident assistants go through extensive training, making them a knowledgeable and caring resource for all students. The events that the Western RA staff puts on allows students to familiarize themselves with their roommates and peers. There are so many opportunities at Western. Put yourself out there. The memories you make will last you a lifetime.
Welcome to Housing at Western Wyoming Community College. I'm Dr. Dustin Conover, your Dean of Students. I oversee the entire housing operation, and my office is located in Mustang Central. For almost 45 years, Western has housed students while pursuing their educational goals. We are proud of our strong history of providing a safe, clean, and engaging housing experience for our students and giving them a place that they can call home away from home. We are also proud that our students that have lived on campus over the years have graduated with their degree at twice the rate than those that live off campus. It's one of the best situations a student can put themselves in order to obtain their educational goals. We're glad that you have chosen to call the residence halls at Western your home. I'd now like to have the housing staff introduce themselves. They are committed to your safety and your success.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm the Housing and Student Life Office Assistant. I can help you with your housing paperwork, and I can get you your access card if anything ever happens to it. If you lose it or break it, come and see me and we can get you a new one. I'm always here for you anytime you need me. My office is in Mustang Central. We're happy to have you here.
Hi, my name is Alex Nelson, and I'm the new Student Life and Housing Coordinator. This year, I'm going to help residents with engagement and activities in housing and the main campus. My office is back by the game room and the atrium in the short hallway.
I'm Zach, and I'm the head resident assistant this year. The RAs are trained students that also live in the residence halls that you can contact with any questions or concerns at any time in their room. You can text or call the RA duty phone at any time at 307-212-0877.
I'd now like to talk a little bit about COVID-19 and the guidelines, how they apply specifically to housing. This year, we will only assign 1 resident per bedroom to enable social distancing. We will keep some rooms available for immediate self-isolation rooms for residents who may test positive for COVID-19 and who share a suite or apartment with another resident. If a resident ever tests positive and already lives alone in housing, they will self-isolate in their already assigned room. As a housing resident, you are required to wear a face covering over your mouth and nose at all times while inside the residence halls, unless you're alone in your own bedroom. If you ever have symptoms consistent with COVID-19, please feel free to immediately contact the Memorial Hospital of Sweetwater County. After the semester begins, should and only if additional restrictions be necessary due to a surge in cases in the state, local area, or on campus, the college may implement significant restrictions or limitations to all residents, including but not limited to requiring all residents to terminate their housing lease and vacate the residence halls at a prorated rate. Additionally, residents that may contract COVID-19 related and documented illness by a healthcare provider may receive an individual accommodation and/or exception to move out of the residence halls early at a prorated rate if the college deems it appropriate and in the best interest of the housing operation and of all residents. For more information, please also watch the COVID-19 guidelines video in the link below. I'd now like to talk about 2 reporting forms that we have here at the college. The first is Report a Concern form. It is found on your My Western portal when you log in with a flag icon. Also, it is found under the Consumer Information tab on the bottom of the college homepage found at westernwyoming.edu. The purpose of this form is to provide you as a student and resident the ability to report incidents, concerns, or complaints about individuals or groups in the residence halls, on the main campus, or in your class. You can also submit a work order for facility concerns or repair needs for your room. The other is the COVID-19 self-reporting form. It is also found on your MyWestern portal when you log in with an ambulance icon. It is also found under Consumer Information on the bottom of the college homepage. The purpose of this form is to provide you as a student and resident the ability to report if you have tested positive for COVID-19, tested negative for COVID-19, are awaiting results of COVID-19, or believe you have been exposed to somebody who is symptomatic or has tested positive for COVID-19. This year's Housing Handbook is found in your MyWestern under the Western Life tab on the left side of the screen. There's a lot of information found in the Housing Handbook that you need to be aware of as a housing resident. I want to talk a bit about some of the policies found in the Housing Handbook. Residents are assigned to a certain room in order to provide for social distancing and enable a safe environment in the event of an emergency. Therefore, it is expected that residents sleep in their assigned room. Furthermore, to minimize the potential spread of COVID-19, residents are encouraged to minimize the number of guests in their room and to socialize in designated commons areas in the residence halls, in the main campus building, or even outside. Western has adopted a tobacco and e-cigarette-free environment in its buildings and allows such use only in designated outdoor areas. Smoking or vaping is prohibited in or near college-owned or operated buildings, including inside the residence halls. The use of chewing tobacco is also prohibited inside the residence halls. The college prohibits employees, students, and visitors from possessing, using, or storing weapons on college property. A weapon is any device designed to produce serious injury or death, or to intimidate, threaten, or endanger an individual, or any replica that a reasonable person might believe is capable of producing serious injury or death. Please see the Housing Handbook or College Policy 3910K for a list of prohibited items. Residents who wish to bring their firearms to campus, used only for hunting or recreational purposes off campus, must contact a member of Protective Services from off campus and have the officer meet the resident at the vehicle. The resident is then escorted by the officer to the Protective Services office, where the firearms will be placed in a safe. If a resident would like to check out their firearm, Protective Services must be contacted and the student must be escorted back to the vehicle. The college prohibits students from using, possessing, distributing, or selling alcoholic beverages at college-sponsored activities or on property that it owns or leases, including the residence halls. Students violating this policy are subject to disciplinary action and/or criminal prosecution. Whenever there is a situation on campus involving alcohol and individuals under the age of 21, the local police will be called and violators may be cited regardless of whether or not the individual is a student. Alcohol containers, whether they are full or empty, are not allowed anywhere in the residence halls. Individual residents are responsible for the actions of their guests and must assure that their guests conform to the rules and regulations. Should violations occur in a room or an apartment, the contract holding resident of that space is ultimately responsible. Any resident found at a social gathering in the residence halls where alcohol is present may be in violation of the alcohol policy, whether or not they have been consuming alcohol. The alcohol violation sanctions are the following. First offense is a 3-month housing probation, a $100 fine, and enrollment in an alcohol education program with a well-being and accessibility center. Second offense is housing probation for a period of 9 months, a $250 fine, and enrollment in a much more intensive alcohol education program with a well-being and accessibility center. A third offense for alcohol violations is grounds for eviction from housing. The college prohibits students from possessing, selling, using, or distributing any illegal drugs and drug paraphernalia in the residence halls and is a violation of state law and college policy. Whenever there is a situation on campus involving illegal drugs, the local police will be called and violators may be cited. Any person found at a social gathering in the residence halls where illegal drugs or drug paraphernalia are present may be in violation of the illegal drug or drug paraphernalia policy, whether they are in possession of, selling, using, or distributing the illegal drugs or drug paraphernalia. The illegal drug violation sanctions are the following. A first offense is 9-month housing probation, $250 fine, and enrollment in intensive drug education program with a well-being and accessibility center. If there is a second offense, that is grounds for eviction from housing. Once a month, a formal announced inspection of each residence hall room will be conducted. A resident assistant who has been specifically assigned to your room with assistance from another staff person will be conducting the inspection. The purpose of these room checks is to check in with you, the resident, to see if you need anything, and also to take note of any work orders that need submitted to assure that everything is functioning properly in your room. You may be assigned to a room that has 2 beds in your bedroom. To facilitate social distancing, only 1 resident will be assigned per bedroom. If you have 2 beds, both beds will need to stay in your bedroom and cannot be removed by you or housing staff to be placed in the hallways or storage. Many residents choose to move the 2 beds side by side to make a larger bed. Others prefer to have the beds bunked to provide more floor space in the room. Others prefer to have the second bed taken apart and stored in the corner of the bedroom or under the bed. Whatever option you prefer, please do not bunk or unbunk your own beds. Please ask your RA to contact a member of custodial or maintenance staff to come into your room and to do it for you. This is for your personal safety, as the beds are very heavy and the frames have to be set at a certain height. This also eliminates the risk of damaging the beds or walls that you may be held responsible for the cost of the damage. You can call or text Protective Services whenever you need help. They are always willing to escort you to or from your room and housing if you ever feel unsafe walking alone at night. Don't ever give anybody your room combination. You never know who might end up with it and then have access to your room. If you ever need it changed, please contact Amy Carter in Mustang Central. There may be a charge for the combination change depending on the circumstances. Don't give others your access card. If they lose it, you will need to pay the cost to replace it. If you ever lose or break your card, you can get a replacement access card in Mustang Central for a $20 charge. The fire alarms in your building will go off during the semester. This is most often due to somebody burning food while cooking in the building. However, it is required that all residents evacuate the building immediately if the fire alarm ever sounds. The fire department will respond to the building where the alarm is sounding. When you exit the building, please do not stand in the parking lot or circle drive so you're not in the way of the fire truck. During the cold months, be sure to grab your coat, but immediately exit the building. You never know when there may be a real fire in the building. All rooms in the residence halls are equipped with hardwired smoke detectors. Please do not ever cover your smoke detector. Not only is this a violation of college policy and puts you and others in your building in danger if there is ever a fire, but it is also a felony if anybody is ever injured in a fire and you covered the smoke detector that was part of the cause. Lit candles, incense, and items that produce hot wax or an open burning flame are not allowed in the residence halls. This includes candle warmers. Exceptions to this can only be made by me, the Dean of Students. Thank you for your time and for abiding by these important safety protocols and housing regulations. Together, we can all keep your home away from home a safe and fun place to live. I hope you have a fantastic year as you pursue your educational goals.
Just a few words about safe sex on campus. Unprotected sex can result in unwanted pregnancy or STDs. And you see a list of just a few sexually transmitted diseases on this slide. But please know that condoms are available on campus at the student storehouse donated by Wellbeing and Accessibility, as well as the desks at Rocky Mountain and Aspen Mountain Halls. You as a student can go and request to get a condom if necessary. The other important aspect of safe sex is consent and communication. You need to communicate with your partner and understand the concept of consent and make sure that you have consent for every sexual activity. Giving consent for one sexual activity does not mean giving consent to all sexual activity. So it's really about communication, clear communication by words, deeds, actions, making sure you have consent. If someone seems wary or hesitant, my recommendation is that you stop and communicate. A lack of affirmative consent does not give consent. So that means if someone's silent or passive, that does not necessarily indicate consent. So please keep that in mind. That's important that everybody feel safe and respected when engaging in sexual activity. And here's some more resources for safe sex. The first one is you@westernwyoming.edu, and we're going to go into that and I'm going to show you what that program can offer you. It's free for all students and located on your the web portal, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But here are some other community resources that you should know about. Western Wyoming Family Health. They're located at 333 Broadway in Rock Springs, basically down Grant Street, the steep street just by our campus, and across the overpass. And you will see 333 Broadway on your left-hand side. That's our county building. Their phone number is 307-362-6813. They offer a variety of services, including rapid HIV and STD testing, hepatitis B and C testing, as well as family planning and emergency contraception. Sweetwater County Community Nursing is also another good resource for any testing needs, but also preventative measures. I know that they provide and can help with some contraception as well. And they're also located in our county building at 333 Broadway. And their phone number is 307-922-5390. And the other resource that is good for you to know is Rock Springs Community Health. And they're located at 2620 Commercial Way, Rock Springs, Wyoming, 307-212-5116. This is a community health clinic, and everyone is served on a sliding fee scale there. So that might be another good resource for a student who needs to see a physician or get testing or talk about other options for contraception. So let's take a moment now and let's go into the you@westernwyoming.edu portal, and I'll show you around that, and it's helpful for a variety of things, but it also has articles, resources, and temperature checks for sexual health. So let's look at that. The You at Western portal. On your student portal page, you'll see this icon, the You at Western portal page. You click on this and it will take you to a home page. The first time you click on it, it will ask you some questions. And it's just trying to gather your interests and maybe specific topics that would be important to you. Everything's confidential. There's no way for the college to see any information that you put in there. We can see aggregate data of what our students are searching for, so we can kind of tell maybe important topics for students, but we cannot tell what any individual comes into the portal and looks at. So this portal basically Once you set up your profile, you'll see this is mine that I use for training. You can come in and look up a variety of topics. So here you can see succeed, academics, grades, internships, degree and career options, taking learning style assessments, and leadership and professional development. Here you see thrive. So are you having some struggles? Are you needing help with your anger, fitness and nutrition, alcohol and substance use, sleep, stress, and anxiety, body image issues, loneliness and depression, on suicidal thoughts, or sexual health? So let's click into sexual health. And here is a whole bunch of information and general articles about sexual health topics. You can get on, you can search things, read these articles. They're very helpful. The content changes almost weekly, so it's always new content. You can also click on campus resources. So this specifically takes you to places that you can seek help here at Western. You can also, go back to the all resources. You can do a reality check. So how are you doing? So you'll see that I took an assessment on Thrive. Am I thriving at college? Am I doing well? When I click on my results, you'll see that 3 out of 4 stars. I'm doing pretty well with my sleep, doing pretty well managing anger. My results for stress and anxiety are so-so. Maybe I'm kind of stressed out. Fitness and nutrition, okay, middle of the road. Maybe I can do some improvement for stress and anxiety and fitness and nutrition. My body image is doing pretty good. However, you can see where I may be doing bad at after I take this Thrive. It's alcohol and substance use. Maybe I really need some improvement in this. Maybe I'm abusing substances. So this is giving you some tips on things you can do to improve that behavior and stay safe, stay healthy. And again, loneliness and depression. I'm doing okay, but I could probably improve. This is telling me I need some attention to my mood, feeling lonely. I need to make some changes maybe there. And then again, sexual health. It talks about maybe you need to seek some help. If you have 1 star, look at seeking some help on campus or off. So this is a great resource for a variety of things, not just sexual health, overall health on campus. So when you go back to your home, you can also look at Matter. So are you mattering? Are you really a part of the campus community? So let's look. This gives you the ability to look at and evaluate your own personality style, mindfulness and balance. Do you have a purpose? Do you know what really matters to you and what you're passionate about? Are you getting involved? Are you involved in clubs? Are you volunteering on campus or in the community? Are you working? How are your relationships and friendships? And are you socially resilient? So all of these things can help you assess how you're doing and what your overall health and well-being is at Western. So this is another great resource, again, for a variety of topics. You can search topics. You can put everything in. So let's say we're going to search counseling. Okay. So when you search counseling, you can search a variety of topics, whatever is important to you, and you'll see here is some information about coping with mental health issues, suicide, if you have a friend in need, what to do, about addiction, about sexual assault, all of these things that you can search, put in the search engine. It will direct you to appropriate articles, but it will also, as you see down here, it will direct you to places on campus. When you see a picture with the little Western logo on the corner, that is going to direct you to an office or a person on campus who can help you with those things, okay? So that's just a little bit about you at Western. I encourage all students to get their profile set up, and use this as a resource for general wellness and success.
Oh, yeah.
The Protective Services Department provides security and safety for housing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call or text us at 307-922-4961 anytime you need assistance. Our office is located at the main campus building in room 1102 by the information desk behind Mustang Central. In case of emergencies, please contact 911.
Hi, my name is Amy Galley, and I am the Director of Wellbeing and Accessibility and the Title IX Coordinator at Western Wyoming Community College. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about mental health and also some Title IX issues and what wellbeing and accessibility can do for you. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Title IX. And it's important that all students understand Title IX and what their rights are and what this law actually addresses for those attending any college that's federally funded. So the gist of Title IX is no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied benefit of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity that receives federal financial assistance. So first and foremost, Title IX is a discrimination law. And so the discrimination that they're addressing through Title IX is sex and gender-based discrimination. And there are a variety of ways that you as a student can report if you feel that you have been discriminated against, or if you have been a victim of what would be sexual misconduct or sexual harassment, which in turn might have a discriminatory effect. So if there has been sexual misconduct perpetrated by someone against you, it may inhibit your ability to feel safe on campus, to access your courses. And that is the whole purpose of Title IX, that you are respected on campus and that any behavior does not have a discriminatory effect. So we encourage all students to report, and reporting can be done a variety of ways. So first and foremost, reports can be filed online and can be done anonymously, and there's two ways to find our reporting form. The first is you'll see down here that there is the report a concern form. You can click on that and mark Title IX under consumer information. And the other way is here on the student portal, you can click on report a concern. So from the general website or from the student portal, and you can report anonymously or with identification. Please know though that if you choose to report anonymously, sometimes that does not quite provide enough for us to really pursue the full Title IX grievance process. So if you feel like you can identify yourself, the better. And know that anybody can report, whether you witnessed something, whether you were present, whether you heard something. We encourage everybody to report. You can also report directly to our Title IX coordination team. So again, you can see me. I'm Amy Galley. I am the Title IX Coordinator and Director of Wellbeing and Accessibility. I'm located in room 2011, and my phone number is 382-1645. You can also email me through campus email. But please know, email isn't considered 100% confidential. So anything confidential shared, we discourage you from sharing any personal information that way, unless you feel comfortable. You can also report to Mark Rimbaz. He is our Deputy Title IX Coordinator for students and the Director of Planning and Improvement. And he's in room 3050D, and his phone number is 382-1899, and he can be reached through campus email as well. And Joy Adams is our Deputy Title IX Coordinator for employees. She is our Associate Vice President of Human Resources in room 3034, and her phone number is 382-1832, and can also be reached via campus email. So once you report something, that report is taken, and basically myself or one of the Title IX coordination team members will discuss with you your report, your concerns, what you are wanting to happen, make sure that your safety is taken into account, and then we put any remedies in place to make sure that you do feel safe. But then we start analyzing the report. So does this, and we choose 3 different things: dismissal, informal resolution, or formal resolution. So dismissal would be that it is a concern, and maybe we need to, maybe it doesn't rise to Title IX, maybe it doesn't meet Title IX legal criteria. So we would refer that on to the Dean of Students or other office to be addressed. The other option is an informal resolution. And as long as all parties agree that informal resolution can be pursued, we would identify and enforce any remedies or accommodations that we need to make. For informal resolution to proceed, we need to know that it does not pose a risk to the campus community. An informal resolution does not require a full investigation. However, this is not an option for a claim that involves an employee. If it involves an employee, it must move to formal resolution. And a formal resolution involves a full investigation. All parties review and respond to all evidence. It concludes with a live hearing with all parties, and we use a preponderance of evidence standard that we feel that this claim of policy violation is more likely than not to have happened. And so once that goes to the live hearing, a decision and responsibility of finding is reached. At that time, if someone is found responsible for our Title IX policy violation, certain sanctions can be given. So sanctions are warning, educational programming, counseling. It could be probation, suspension, or expulsion. It could be other organizational sanctions and any other actions deemed appropriate. So that all depends on the claim and the responsibility of finding. It might also take into account other concerns or past kind of issues that the students might be grappling with. So those are possible sanctions and repercussions. So one thing to know, all students in the first year success course are going to be asked to complete the required at Western campus course. When you complete this course by September 11th, you will be put in a drawing for up to $100 in prizes. So we will be giving out multiple $100 prizes and other smaller prizes. So we really encourage everyone to get that done by September 11th. If you are living in housing, it will be something that we will keep reminding you of, we will keep doing. Know the good thing about completing this assignment quickly is that you will already have an assignment in your first year success course completed. It goes over prohibited misconduct. So sexual misconduct, harassment, and discrimination includes non-consensual sexual intercourse, non-consensual sexual contact, sexual exploitation, as well as discrimination, complicity, bullying, stalking, retaliation, and domestic violence. Any of those claims could potentially fall under the Title IX umbrella and would be prohibited on, or the effects of those things happening off campus, on campus. So even if something happens outside of our jurisdiction, we may need to take some remedies and take some action to make sure that, that everyone is safe and respected on campus. The policy that this applies to is policy 5420E, and can be found on our website. In that other slide, you saw where you could report a concern. Right below that is Title IX, and you can find the policies there. An important aspect of Title IX is that of consent. Consent is equal approval of any sexual activity given freely and willingly through words and or actions. Consent can be revoked at any time, and consent cannot be given if someone's incapacitated, under the age of consent, coerced, or forced into sexual activity. So it's very important that you understand consent, and we go into consent much deeper in that online course. So that's what I have for you today regarding Title IX. Know that there are various booklets throughout campus. There are various posters, informational campaigns that all relate to Title IX, your safety and your rights on campus. In addition, I want to encourage all students to practice safe sex and make sure that consent is given, and that communication in sexual activity is the key to keeping everyone feeling safe and respected.
As the Western Wyoming Community College Rock Springs campus, Green River campus, and outreach centers are reopened to serve students, we are committed to ensuring a safe transition. We will be relying on each student to exercise common sense, good judgment, and to comply with guidance from federal, state, and local officials, as well as Western's protocols. Western has modified its operations to protect the health and well-being of our students, faculty, staff, and community visitors. We are continuing to monitor the situation and follow the advice of experts to limit and mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Students will be required to wear face coverings while inside all college buildings. Please see our COVID-19 video that is linked below for the guidelines Western will be following. What should you do if you or someone you know has tested positive for COVID-19? First of all, students should not come to campus. Those who live in the residence halls should remain in their room in the residence halls. Also, please notify me, the Dean of Students, by filling out the COVID-19 self-reporting form, or you can call me directly at 307-382-1644. You can fill out the COVID-19 self-reporting form through your My Western portal, or on the bottom of the college homepage under the Consumer Information link. In all cases, I, the Dean of Students, will work with the Wellbeing and Accessibility Center and any faculty members who teach your classes in which the student's physical absenteeism due to COVID-19 symptoms may impact your academic achievements and provide appropriate accommodations for any missed work. Western Wyoming Community College has reserved the right to share COVID-19 related information with the local health department and communicate any information to members of the campus that is in the best interest of the health and safety of our students, employees, and visitors to our campus. Plexiglass has been placed in multiple locations around campus to protect students and employees while conducting business. Please be respectful of these barriers, and please continue to wear your face covering while interacting with college employees inside and outside of the classroom.